We're gonna let a few people get on here before I get talking, so bear with me, guys. What's up, guys? I'm gonna put this on. We're gonna try an actual microphone instead of just a stupid webcam mic. Alrighty, we're gonna test out how this all sounds. So, pause my music I was listening to. I guess let me know down in the comments how the audio is, guys. First time using this setup, so it might be a little screwed up. I don't know. Let's see. Whoa, that's loud. Even I get the ads. Yay. Even I get the ads. Yay. Oh, sweet. Audio's good. Even I get the Alrighty. So how is everybody doing? Let me know down in the chats how you guys are doing tonight. Thank you for tuning in for this impromptu live stream. Thanks, Mike. Good to know. I had been contemplating picking a day during the week and doing a live stream, even if I'm on the road working. Long as I have good cell coverage, that's the big kicker. Because some areas I go and stay at, sometimes I do not have good cell coverage, so I may have some issues occasionally. But I figured it'd be a cool way for you guys to kind of interact and get to ask me questions while I'm on the road and just see what I'm up to, what I do, and also maybe give you guys an update on fishing in your neck of the woods that I may be traveling to. So, but I did go out fishing today on St. Clair. Me and Trevor Larson went out, and fishing sucked a little bit for us. We did catch a few fish. We did find a wad of fish underneath some ice. If you look at my community post here on the channel, I'm trying to get this to not be so grainy, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. No, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, it is what it is. We'll just do it that way. Yeah. Oh, well, it's going to have to stay grainy. Yeah, so fishing sucked for us, but we did find a wad of fish underneath some ice. One area that, when we're in this stage of ice going out, you can have some really good success is right at those edges of our open water and ice meet. And you can sometimes find an absolute pile of fish on those edges. We found that. Unfortunately, that pile of fish was spot tail shiners. We were literally catching 4 to 6 inch spot tail shiners. Maybe not 6 inch, but well into the 4-inch range. We did get a few perch in there. So we went looking for some more, and now it is what it is. Just didn't check enough places before we had enough for the day. Yeah, Brett, that was all fish that we had. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to eat dinner too. I got distracted when the Tucker Carlson Putin interview went up. I wanted to watch that, and I didn't realize what time it came on. And then, yeah, it is what it is. So now I'm eating. But if you watch that, tell me what you thought of it in the comments. It was very, very fascinating. A lot to digest there. Yeah, it was better than Schools of Shad, Mike. That was a pleasant surprise, actually, to have that many spot tail shiners. The one thing that I found absolutely incredible was just how warm the surface temp was on the main lake and also in what I'm going to call some of the backwater areas that we were at, up in the river systems of Salt, Clinton, Spillway, just what those water temps were like. If you were on ice today, you are one brave SOB or really dumb SOB, in my opinion. That ice was rough. The ice we pulled up to, I could blow through it with my boat anytime I wanted. If you haven't seen the Putin interview, with Tucker Carlson, no matter where you stand politically, if you like Ukraine, like Russia, hate the current U.S. situation, love the current U.S. situation, it needs to be watched by everybody and digested by everybody. It was fascinating. Don't let outside opinions of it affect your ability to watch it. Watch it before you digest all that stuff is all I'm going to say. It's going to take me a little while to digest what was said in that interview by a lot. So, Brett, I have fished up in the Salt River. Haven't had a ton of success myself. I know some guys do. Some of it's probably just timing a lot of times. But that's why it's called fishing, not catching, right? I have done well out in front of the Salt River, out in the lake. I got a couple of waypoints in that area. I've done really well. Mainly on smallmouth, but I've had some good days out in front of the Salt, but not up in the Salt. I did talk to a gentleman that I've known since the first SDI store on the spillway next to Crocker at Eldridge Boat Harbor. That's, I don't know, 15 years now. And ran into him at the ramp. He was coming in, and he went chasing walleye up in the canal, up in the channels, and said the water up there was gin clear. So, and now he was the middle channel area where he went and fished. I have heard some rumblings of some good catches up in the Port Huron area already. So maybe don't take my word for it, because that could be hearsay. I would check with the two shops up there on how that bite's going. Anderson Pro Bait and Jay's Marine Hardware right there on the Black River. I would give those two guys a call, ask them how the fishing is up there. But I'm hearing some action on the wall and also some jigging action up there now too. According to Ken, he saw people on the webcam that's freely available here on YouTube that there was guys still out on that ice. Yeah, that's a little nuts if you ask me. Just a little nuts. One thing I will say, from the Clinton River mouth north in Anchor Bay, for the most part, unless you're along the Saltridge boat ramp and some of those canals and Salt River where there's a little bit of color coming in, some green water, for the most part, Fairhaven, all right, not Fairhaven, but the Anchor Bay, like visually looking to the north, the water was very, very clean and very, very blue. So that was good to see if you were looking for clean water. After this weekend, some of the, Goose Bay, Musquemoot Bay might be open to boating. Finally, and there were some guys out in jet skis today too, ripping around, having a good old time. I was not dodging icebergs out in the center of the lake, around the Metro Point, Clinton River mouth area. I did not see any floating ice out there in the main lake at all. So I got a feeling most of that is gone. Ken, I am starving, dude. I really want to watch the interview with Tucker Carlson and Putin, and it came on Twitter, and with what's been going on with social media, I wanted to make sure I locked in and watched it really, really early before something stupid happens and it gets ripped down everywhere or whatever. So I wanted to see it all for myself before anybody else's opinion was thrown in there. Didn't matter if it's MSNBC, CNN, Fox, InfoWars with Alex Jones, Tim Pool. What's the other guys I'm thinking of? Well, Joe Rogan would be. I'd love to see his take on it a little bit. What's this other leftist guy? It's on YouTube. Jimmy Dore. Before I hear any of their opinion, I wanted to watch it. So that's why also the live's late. I wanted to do it at 7. We're doing it at 9 now, so it is what it is. Clarity off of Geno's and up to the beach. I would say it's a milky green with about 1.5 to 2 foot visibility, give or take. But that water there was about 37 to 38 degrees when I was there. When we left the lake, the surface temp was 40 degrees. So she is definitely warming up. Oh, dear. Hi, buddy. What you doing? So she's definitely warm. I don't see Main Lake ice surviving past this weekend. But then again, I also didn't expect it to be on guys on the ice start of this week. So who knows? Mother Nature is an interesting lady. So if you guys got questions, put them down below. I'll stay on here and chat with you guys as long as you guys got questions. Or is there stuff in general, maybe not about the lake, but other stuff? Maybe questions to me. I would say questions to the wife, but she's at work right now, so she can't answer those unless she hops in here and on her break. But I don't think she'll waste time with that. So, yeah, me and Trevor grinded out for, I think we got in the water around 10-ish or so. Yeah, Mike, there's a good chance I might go jigging here shortly. But I had somebody in the comments bring up something from a few years ago, a goal I have. And I'm going to stop announcing goals publicly because it sucks when it doesn't happen right away or the struggle happens and then you're being bothered about it. In this case, I'm not worried about it, just other things. But that was the quest to catch a 40-inch northern pike on Lake St Clair. The best I have caught is 38.5. I have seen 40-inchers speared. I have a dog begging for chicken who is not getting it. No, you're not, young lady. Go lay down. Go on. Go. That's the well-behaved one that actually listens. The other one down here does not. Foxhound versus Beagle, I guess. So there's probably a good chance I might fire that quest back up. And came across some stuff this past spring. Stuff I've never seen or fished. And I really want to go back there this year and see if I can stick a really big one there. Charles, I haven't heard anything on the channels at Harson's, but if it's anything like the channels that we have down in this part of the lake, it will not be much longer if there is ice there. I'm sure there's a couple areas where there's some better flow that you can already fish, especially on that northern part of the island. I think you should be able to fish some of that. Anything that's got flow should be good. Brett, 24-incher is the eater, dude. On St. Clair, they're a dime a dozen. Just got to put your time in to learn where they're at. The river I grew up on was the Raisin down in Monroe, and we had a hard time getting 24-inchers out of that thing just because it gets stunted. Not because of lack of food, not because of lack of oxygen or space, but because of the overall temperature gets too high for those big fish, and they die from stress in the summer months. That really gets really warm in the summer. Big pike need that cool water, and St. Clair, the north-south middle channel, the flats area gives them a lot of that. And I know a lot of northern pike are actually caught from the St. Clair Light south through the dumping grounds in the summertime as well. mixed in with muskie and those big cabbage beds and the humps. So if I can't get it done in the spring on a big spawner, I may just have to try a summer send down in the humps and try it down there. A 47-inch pike on Muscatmoot in the 63. That's a hell of a pike no matter where you're at in the world. Anything over 40 is a fairly rare specimen anywhere, even up in Canada. I think the only place I know of in North America where you can get a sub 50-inch northern pike consistently is Wollaston Lake. And is that Saskatchewan? You would fly into Winnipeg, and they pick you up. You can go out, and it's a pretty high-end resort fishing lodge that's there. But Wollaston Lake Lodge, they actually keep a running tally of how many 50s and 52-inch northerns they get every year. I think they got like a 3-year wait or something like that, or longer now, to go fish there. But if you ever have the money, want to go, Wollaston's amazing. In Europe, in Asia, because Russia's technically in an Asian continent, they do get quite a few northerns. Italy's got a color variant that's really common in that part of the world in a couple lakes, and that's the leopard pattern. If you're on Facebook, there was somebody that posted a little guy, probably about a 12 or 15 incher, in that leopard pattern that was caught up on Saginaw Bay somewhere just recently. So that was really cool to see. You don't see that too often. You usually see like a clear pike way more than you would a leopard in the state of Michigan. You'll see a couple other color variations. The guys start to say, "Oh, it's a tiger muskie." "Oh, it's this." It's really just a color variation of northern. So you are trying really hard, young lady, aren't you? Yeah. If you go up in the Little Muscatmoot, right before the bass spawn kicks off, but in between when the pike are recovering from their spawn and the smallmouth going to their spawn, you can catch a lot of high 20s, low 30s. A lot of those males that bred the heck out of things. The females usually get out of those shallow waters pretty quick, but there's a lot of northerns to be had up there. You can catch a lot of largemouth and get a few smallmouth too fishing up there. Chatterbait does really well, and a fluke does really well for me up in that area. I think I've posted a couple of videos of me doing that exact thing up on the flats in general. There's a lot of other areas than the back of Muscatmoot, but it's probably the easiest place for people to identify where to go catch fish. It's a little bit warmer than the rest of the other bays that have a totally different rhythm to them because of the amount of main river current, that Lake Huron water that comes in. They're all different timing, but Muscatmoot's always the earliest, especially that back corner. Wish I had some music playing. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Guess I could. I do got copyright free music I can play. Let's see if it's any good. Yeah, if you can go anywhere up on the flats in April, May, you're going to find a lot of 24 inchers. You're going to find a lot of pike right now in Lance Cruz Bay. In certain areas of Anchor Bay and Bouvier Bay, you're finding them too. Yeah, Saginaw Bay has been a very good place to go catch big northerns for a long time. Growing up, when northerns was a much more sought after target species, that was one you heard about quite a bit. Saginaw Bay, Saginaw Bay. Saginaw Bay is an incredible fishery that is untouched. Yellow perch and walleye are good up there, but there's so much other good fishing to be had up there. In a fairly natural setting for the most part, because a lot of the marshland's been protected really well up there compared to down here in St. Clair. Um, you can get a lot of really big northerns up there. I know those guys that troll up there do really well. So I know there's some guys excited to go and how'd that go? Just out of someone listening. I've been talking to a few guys that want to go up and roll or go up and dig Saginaw River already. So that should be good. But the secret's kind of out on the bass fishing up there. Again, not just the Charity Islands, but in the marshy areas. There's a lot of good largemouth up there. And one thing I'm hoping to get more into this year is chasing lake trout. Um, I'm probably going to say that for the summer months because a lot of the big water stuff really calm in the summer. It's a good time to go venture out in my bass boat for lake trout on the Great Lakes. So, who in here is looking forward to spring? I'm kind of torn. It is not a beer, Mike. If I start doing live streams on, like, say, Thursday nights I'm on the road, we're probably going to do a campfire. I will more than likely have a drink or two. It is Michigan, so there's other things we can partake in too, not just drink. But yeah, not allowed to do that on here though, unfortunately. That is frowned upon. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do Travers Bay. Got a few customers up there that can kind of point me in the right direction to speed up my learning curve a bit. But looking at the actual mappage up there, it should not be hard to find them. Wayne, I was out today, dude. I was already out fishing today. Bob, thank you for that. That is awesome. I really, really appreciate that. That is not ever needed, but greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you for the $20. But yeah, um, Wayne, bass player. I was out today with Trevor. Fishing wasn't the greatest, but we did do a lot of checking. Um, when we left the lake around 4 o'clock, the surface temps were hitting 40 degrees. The main lake, when we first got out there, was 36, 37. We mainly stayed in that central, metro, like Clinton River to Clinton River. Spillway to there is where we were venturing through. There wasn't any big ice chunks out floating around, so that was nice to see. Do I think what? They have this little logo thing in the way. Do you think Jimmy is really in like Lake Huron? Dude, if you wanted to bury somebody in a lake, quite honestly, like Huron, Superior, Michigan all have deep enough water to hide some secrets. Not saying I did it. I'm just saying objectively, if you wanted to hide some secrets, you could hide some secrets. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Wayne, we got to get out and fish here again this spring. I'm gonna try to make enough time this year to go fish. I got some new rods for Nova Tackle for walleye jigging that I'm excited to go out and actually fish. If you're not familiar who is, Nova is a Michigan-based company. Primarily, he focuses in on salmon steelhead rods and bobbers and floats and stuff like that. And he did do a walleye series at the Novi show. He had an absolute ton of them, had a killer price on them, and I bought a few. I'm going to show them to a handful of my customers here in the local area and also throughout the state, and hopefully they'll pick them up. Um, I'm excited to start showing those rods off to a few people, and maybe we can get them placed elsewhere. It's a Michigan guy um, taking care of Michigan needs. So I know you're always ready, dude. Sometimes I just feel like if I say, "Hey, I'm gonna go out," and it's really only a 2 hour trip, it's a wasted trip for anybody else. So when I know I'm in for a good long day on the water, that's when I usually call somebody. Like today, um, I figured today was a good day to go out, and I know Trevor had the day to go fish because hey, we live right down the street from each other. So I took him. And he's never been on my boat. I've actually never taken him fishing on my boat. I think I've iced him for a handful of times, or fished a handful of times with him or near him. But yeah, when you got to come see what Mega Live looks like on the boat now that I got a insane amount of grass and money up front on that boat. I was sitting back today when we were out there just doing the math and going, what was I thinking? Why did I do all this? And then I remembered COVID. I had money to burn because I was having some good years there. So I said, what the hell not? Why not? So I did. Yeah, I got 360. I have live, mega down, mega side, and of course the 2D. So I have all the toys now on the front of that boat. Other than I don't have a Ultra Quest. I just have a regular Ultra on there. I'm not ready to spend another $5,000 for a trolling motor or nearly that. I think I'll buy another boat before I put more money into this one at this point. Um, I did put lithiums in though. Part of that decision was 20 days on St. Clair take a toll on the wet cell batteries, and AGMs cost a lot for what you get out of them, and lithiums just have way more runtime at peak power, and they weigh nothing. I want to take weight out of the back of my boat, and definitely did that. It definitely changed how that boat runs. So I got to tweak with my loadout this year a little bit, but I have enjoyed having the lithium on there, especially when I go up north. I don't have to necessarily find a campsite to charge every night. I can go about 2 days, maybe three if I'm not on the motor a lot, and feel completely safe with my electronics and my. Believe it or not, the electronics is more of a concern than the trolling motor when it comes to battery life for me because all my graphs, I have a Helix 12, a 10, a 9, Mega Live 360, all going into one battery, and that is a lot of not horsepower, but amperage and wattage coming out of that one battery for all those graphs. And if they drop below what is it, 12 volts, it starts to get really honky and it just shuts down on you. They won't even work. None of it works. You start getting weird interference issues on your live that makes absolutely no sense. Your 360 will stop and start. It does weird stuff when it gets low on voltage. So, Daniel or Burbot, I think the probably the best place to go is Saginaw Bay. In the fall or right now because the ice is out. I did hear of some being caught. Caseville is probably the most popular pier. But I know you can get them off Kawa, which they get more whitefish there. Um, but any of those fountain pier heads should have bourbon on them. And it's usually like November-ish is when it starts to go. And all you really need to do is fish a perch rig or a perch style rig with some shiners on it, or like a slip catfish rig with a snell hook, and just fish that. On the bottom like you would a catfish. The burbot will find it. You get out there early enough, you can actually fish yellow perch beforehand, maybe catch a few walleyes while casting. So Hmm. Trying to find some better background music than what I got on right now. Just wanting different things here. I have no idea what I'm about to do here. Let's try something. See, what do we got? Any more questions here? Kevin, hopefully I tweaked it and got rid of the echo. If it's still there, I am sorry. Maybe there's some feedback going on, but I got just this mic here. So, Ken, I'm going to pin that at the top of the chat, and I have already contemplated that a few times. For those of you that didn't read the chat, Ken is actually asking if I was going to put on a fishing event together, um, basically with my subscribers. Um, I've contemplated doing a couple of different things, and part of the reason why I have not done it, and I probably will in the future, just don't know when, is time right now with the day job. It's really hard um, to plan out and like in advance for sure. It needs stuff to really calm down and be normal again, so I can plan around and do that. I thought about doing up a deal where if I go up north somewhere, the night before on Facebook in the community tab, I say, "Hey, I'm going fishing here. Come hang out with me on the water." Um, if I do that, it might be on a lake trout trip, like Grand Traverse Bay potentially, or to Cedarville to go fishing the cups and stuff there. Um, I don't know with the state having some issues with the ramps being used for meetups and stuff like that. That's the hurdle I got to jump through too a little bit. But I have contemplated it. I will probably eventually do something. I just don't know when yet, Ken. But yeah, it's on my mind. It has been on my mind for a while. I mean, I could do a paper tournament where I give everybody, like the kayak guys will do. Everybody gets a uh, an item that has to be in the picture, and we just go by length, and longest fish wins. Kind of thing. Winner take all kind of thing. I don't know. I know Bubba has a phenomenal scale now that if I could somehow get enough of them together, we could do a little micro tournament where those scales actually act as the official wear via an app and we can see real time, kind of like Major League Fishing. In fact, Major League Fishing's using that scale this year. So that's interesting. It's an expensive scale, though, a very expensive scale. So might be a little while before I can collect enough of those to do a tournament. But hey, if I hit the lotto, maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But if I hit the lotto, you guys may never see me again. I'll be honest. I may just disappear. I don't know. I think a lot of us would actually. We might go buy some property in UP or the Northern Lower and just vanish off the face of social media. Have my little farm, just enjoy life. Do a bunch of travel. Who knows? Pipe dreams, right? So, no, let me know. What do you guys think? Should I do a tournament? And if so, what should it be for? Smallmouth, walleye, panfish? Let me know. My dogs are trying so hard to get some of this chicken. Lottery Dream, Bascat Jaguar. They are nice looking boats. What's weird is the older I get, the less I care about that. I was more about comfort. I don't think you'll ever see me buy. This is at this present time. Who knows what the future holds? But I don't think you guys will ever see me buy a Johnny Morris boat product, ATP, ever again. Anything that is actually attached to White River Marine. I just don't see myself ever spending money with that company again after what happened with my boat. Um, Part of me wishes I would have recorded everything as it happened, blow by blow, and told you guys. But because of my day job being in the industry, I have to be careful on who I make piss off. It's a very small industry. And also, I didn't want to artificially change what they did based off of the social media pressure that could have been applied to them by doing a post every time an update happened with the boat. And I just decided not to do it and just kind of summarize it at the end. And legally, that was probably the smarter choice as well for me. So it got a little interesting. So, and Ken, a Triton is a White River Marine product. So is Ranger, Nitro Tracker, uh, Sun Tracker, Mako. I might buy like a Tracker John boat because John boat not hard to screw those up. My next boat will be casting oriented, but in the multi-species realm. I am leaning towards a lawn Proby bass. You can troll out of them. I've seen guys do it. I figured out how I like to troll out of one, but it still lets you to cast. I'm not a big trolling person. I grew up doing it on charter boats. Never enjoyed it. Just annoying. Catch a fish, effective. If you're looking for food, honestly, trolling can't be beat. If you're looking to go out and enjoy your time in the water, I think casting is a much more enjoyable thing to do at times. Then again, a good day on a boat with the right amount of guys, right group of guys, can be a ball to trolling at the same time. So, but I just prefer to cast more. It's just my thing, I guess. But I do really want to go chase lake trout again. Like when I went down to North Carolina, I was literally shopping for jigging spoons that the fish up here don't ever see. Others don't see up here. Just trying to find some stuff that's different. Um, Not the lake trout are picky or anything. I just think that certain areas see the same stuff over and over and over again. And there's been studies on bass that show the fish get conditioned to that look and sound and vibration, and they get harder to be caught on it, especially on aggressive baits. That's all they're getting. Don't ask me why. I'm mildly obsessed with lake trout right now for some reason. That 13, 15 pounder I got in Higgins got me hooked. That was the biggest lake trout I ever caught. So that probably helped a little bit too. And according to my customers, one of the biggest ones I've ever seen come out of Higgins. The customers that are there on the lake. So, you guys got any other questions? If not, I'm gonna hop off. I didn't really have much to really talk about other than what the lake looked like today when I was out fishing. So if you missed that part, when I log off, first few minutes I cover all that in there in pretty good detail for you. If you got any other questions in particular to certain areas, you can let me know down in the comments or shoot me a message on Instagram or anything like that. I'll be happy to try to answer as best as I can. My dogs are chasing something on the ground over here. What would be a good Kevin asked, on that note, what old bait do you think would be a good potential switch up for this year bass wise? Well, hmm, I will say this. The fish on St. Clair had become conditioned to live. They had become conditioned to deep jerk baits being aggressively fished over their heads. It happens all the time. They are conditioned to seeing tubes. The one thing with these fish studies, particularly on bass, is the soft plastic options tend not to have as much conditioning as a lipless or chatterbait or a hard bait, a wire bait. Um, I got a couple things that I'm planning on trying this year that are old school or considered old school. Um, One would be a fast grub like a Kalen's, a 4 or 5 inch grub. I think could be really good out here, especially if live being an option for a lot more people now. There could be some really interesting stuff there. Um, Another deal. What the heck? I just had it. What was it? There was a second thing here. Um, oh, an inline spinner, a Mets. Mets came out with a series called the Bronze Slammer. Um, 2 years ago, I have a bunch down in the basement, and I want to try those. And they'll work for Pike too. I think they're a really nice update to the Maps world. It departs from their normal thought process with colors and design, so I like it. Dude, if you're looking for a place to go casting on Saturday and your focus is not on panfish, so your focus there would be northern pike and walleye are probably going to be the two most prevalent fish near shore. Some muskie mixed in there too. I would normally say Brandenburg Pier, but Brandenburg Pier is under construction and renovation right now, so they're not allowed on it. Not a lot of people know that. You could throw spinners at Selfridge, Harley Ensign, and also at the mouth of the spillway. It does have a touch flow still, but not a lot. The point of Metro off the docks there on the deep side is where I'd focus my attention. I wouldn't fish the shallow sand flat yet, but that channel side, basically from the docks looking towards Harley Ensign, should be a good place to go. If you're shorebound, if you have a kayak, um, I would go to the north end. I would launch at Deckers and don't go in the river, but immediately go into the region of Flats. There's some current there, some really good northerns we had over there, and it is on my radar. If I go out and decide to go in for West Coast, chase them, I might go there and there as well. Where's a good place to target pre-spawn smallies in mid-April on Michigan waters in Lake Erie? Um, Being I grew up in Monroe, I spent a lot of time in Brest Bay. There is a wreck out in front of Brest Bay Marina. I really like fishing. You're going to lose a lot of stuff on it if you have to be in the wreck to catch the fish. But there is a wreck there. If you follow the buoy markers where they normally put them coming out into the lake, you should be able to find it. I don't have a waypoint. I don't think it's on any of the mappage. At least the last time I looked in that area. Um, Between Sterling State Park in Breast Bay Marina, there's a condo, some condos that were put in that has a very deep harbor that can have some fish. Um, Toledo Beach Marina has treated me well over the years. Um, Erie, Michigan waters is just like St. Clair in the springtime. You got to find where the crayfish are at, where that warm water hits first. So there was rocks, the break walls, the edges. They're going to be in very similar places. It's just not a that part of Lake Erie in Michigan waters is not a smallmouth area. It's more of a largemouth area. From just my years of growing up down in Monroe, that's been my take on that. I think my audio. There we go. It's upside down. Turn this around a little bit. That's a little better. But I, Roger, those areas are my best bet to give you. Breast Bay's got a lot of good rock in it, especially in the depth range that we'll be looking at for bass in that time of the year. Especially up towards the point, uh, Stony Point, out that way. There's some really big boulder fields up that way, so that may be worth checking up there too. Don't be afraid to get really shallow. There's a couple areas where it gets shallow, then on the back side of it, it gets deep again up there. I learned that duck hunting up there a lot. So, any other questions? Hit me up. If not, I will end it here shortly. With those fingers typing. But thank you guys for the questions. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Bob, for the $20. And I also got to thank somebody else. I did post it up on the community note, and I'll pull up my phone and show you guys. Um, I'm going to try to give everybody a shout out that usually donates to the channel or gives a super like or thanks or whatever like that, or send me money. My PayPal link is at the top of the channel as well. Go back down to it. Um, yeah, I want to give a shout out to Joe Naylor Fishing. Been a subscriber here on the channel a long time. He sent me $30 on the PayPal link. So if you guys do that, I will always give you a shout out in one of the videos or a live stream. I did turn on membership here on the channel. All what the benefits of a membership are there. Um, so if you guys want to do that, feel free to hit the join button, and the details will be there. As of right now, that's all I'm going to be able to do for the membership only type deal. Um, if we get that built up enough, I will probably do member only lives. I can do that where only uh, uh, channel members can be part of, and maybe we can have a little more detailed talk about spots in that group potentially, or more detailed talk about techniques, more of like a mini seminar thing maybe. But that's all in the future. Hopefully we get there. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I think my dog, yeah, the puppy is sitting here staring at me like she needs to go to the bathroom. So it's probably a good time to end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have more questions, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, or down in the comments of any of the videos, shorts, all that good stuff. If I don't get another, I got a couple video ideas. One's going to take a long time to do. I got that data set. Still trying to figure out how I want to give you guys that information. That's going to be really awesome information if you want to chase big fish here in the state of Michigan. It might just help you out, or maybe educate you on really what the fishing is in the whole state. You know, where people spend a lot of their time, or what species they have success with. So that's probably the last hint on that until that video series comes out. It'll probably be a series because there's a lot of good information there. Another video, I literally just typed up the script for it, and I'm at draft 3 of it. And that is actually a topic that could be a heavy one, potentially. It's about finishing goals that you set for yourself in life, and then starting new ones. especially when you reach that pinnacle goal that you had set for yourself. In my case, since I was a young teenager, and I achieved it, and when it hit me, I finally did it. I literally had a few weeks of just like distraught, like, oh shit, now what? Now what am I gonna do? Like, who am I now? Because I already achieved this, and I think that could be an interesting video. It's gonna be more of a talking head video, um, kind of thing. And at the end of it, I'm going to kind of tell you what my main focus going forward is going to be for me fishing and my personal life. And I know earlier in this live stream I said I wouldn't say, hey, I'm going to tell you goals. This goal is pretty broad, and I'm not going to define what's in that goal, but it'll be good. Hey, Walleye Gill, thanks for tuning in, man. We're just winding down actually right now. If you're looking for an update on Lake St. Clair, when this ends, wait for it to go back live and watch the first 5-10 minutes of video. I gave a pretty good detailed explanation of what's going on out in the lake. So with that, guys, I got lots of video ideas coming up. Some of them are going to take a lot of time to put together. So if I don't have super regular content, don't worry. I'm working on some stuff in between my day job, personal life, regaining my health. I'm still working on losing some more weight, getting healthier in that regard. If you didn't catch that video, I think it was posted this past fall, sometime or sometime. Video kind of explains what all happened with me. If you've been around the channel a long time, you know I had a long session with MIA, and a lot of that was health driven and COVID driven. Not health reasons from COVID, but health reasons because of other things, and then COVID because of work on my day job. So, but that's what I call it quits here tonight, guys. I will catch you guys soon. Good chance I will start doing live streams on a more regular basis at the minimum, just to touch base with you guys. So I will see you guys soon. Later.